ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It's been a long day, as we promised yesterday with Long December. It's really kicking off, and it has been a long Monday. Welcome to Monday evening. If you're watching live, you're watching at about 9:07 p.m. Eastern on Monday, December 1st, 2025. I'm your host, Kristopher H. Bilbrey. This is the Political Spotlight. This is episode 567. The name of this episode is December 1st, 2025. Review of the day's governmental happenings. There have been meetings all throughout East Central Indiana, all over Indiana today, I'm sure, but we've been following a couple of them. There have been ups and downs, ins and outs, good, bad, and everything in between. And then, of course, the state House of Representatives showed up and really put on a little bit of a performance today. It continues tomorrow. And we're going to be talking about all of that. We're going to be talking about everything going on in and around the meetings that we attended. And then we're going to be talking a little bit about the goings on at the State House today, and then what's going to be happening tomorrow and the rest of the week down in Indy. And we're going to go from there. So it's going to be a good show. Hey, while we have you here right at the beginning, before everybody gets comfortable and starts getting into it and starts firing off your thumbs, texting, and letting us know what you think, I'd like to ask that you go ahead and smash that like button if you could. Hit that like button if you are here for the first time. If you are not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please hit subscribe. It does not cost you a thing. Smash that subscribe button. Click the bell. That way you get notified when we go live or when we drop content. Everybody knows we're mostly live 5 nights a week, Sunday through Thursday at 9 p.m. However, it's good every now and then to be in the bell crew. That way you get notified when we go live on a special Friday or Saturday, or if we drop shorts or other content. So you'll want to do that. But hey, let's get right into it. One of the things here that we're seeing just right off the bat, it looks like Admiral Eric is talking about the Winchester City Council meeting, and we were not, I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to Winchester today. I got the notification that they went live. Winchester's always so crazy because they are scheduled to have meetings. Their Winchester City Council meetings are scheduled on the first Monday and the third Monday of each month, being a third-class city, smaller than Muncie, smaller than Anderson. Being a third-class city, they meet twice a month rather than once a month, and they don't like it. They don't like meeting twice a month. So what they do a lot of times is they will cancel their first month of the first meeting of the month, and then they will just meet the second meeting, which is the third Monday of the month. So it's really hard to tell unless you're just really up and paying attention to what's going on. I don't live there anymore, so I don't follow Winchester that closely. However, though, because we are now in the world of live streaming, I have subscribed, and that's something that you guys will do. How I talk to you about subscribing here. If you're interested in following along with your local government, first of all, if you subscribe here, you'll get a lot of that content. But if you live someplace and you want to follow along with what's going on, if you want to watch their live streamed meetings or their uploaded recorded meetings or whatever it is that they're doing, and I want to let you know, they need to be doing it because we are now into the year 2025. We're under a month away from 2026, and the new law that went into effect in July of this year says that all of these governments need to be live streaming and recording their meetings now. If they're on YouTube, and a lot of them chose to go to YouTube, you can go there and you could hit the subscribe button and you can click the notification bell, and that way you will get notified when they go live. So I got a notification that Winchester actually decided to have a meeting tonight. That's good for them. I would assume they noticed it properly. They put it up, posted that. Winchester's pretty good about that. However, Eric is saying here that they held an unannounced public hearing at the council meeting tonight. Now, I don't know anything about this. I'll take Eric's word for it. I'll have to go back and watch that. I was not prepared to talk about that. Hadn't seen anything. Didn't know they were doing that. We will definitely take a look at that. I might see if we can fast forward through the meeting and see what happens towards the end of tonight's show. If not, I will definitely be able to look into it after the show and talk about it tomorrow. But yeah, I appreciate that comment there. Oops, let's see here. I thought something looked different. We're missing a banner. There we go. See, Kate missed one night and she forgot everything that goes on here. Kate is back. Producer Kate is back. Mind you, everybody, she is here. If you noticed, she's been putting the things up. So that's the easiest way to know that Kate is back. So we are very grateful to have producer Kate. We didn't do too bad last night, but I don't really do the comments very well. But thank you, Eric, for that comment. Let me see what the other comments. I saw that you had some other comments with it as well. Let's see. Okay, there's that. Winchester was deciding on whether to give money to Ardall Glass, and the city attorney said they needed a public hearing and they could just go ahead and do it. You just go ahead and do it. Hey, what the hell? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're going to talk about that with Madison County a little bit here in a minute. And then I will tell everybody, we're going to talk about, so tonight's meeting is going to focus on I'm going to talk just briefly about the Delaware County Commissioners meeting. Then we're going to talk about the Madison County Commissioners meeting. Then we're going to talk about the Muncie City Council meeting. And then we're going to talk about the Indiana State House. They started off today, the House of Representatives gavelled in to the first day of the 2026 session. They are several weeks early because of the whole redistricting nonsense. So we'll talk about all of that. But we're not going to go in depth with the Madison County stuff. We will go further in depth tomorrow. We'll have Catherine on. Tomorrow's episode, we're going to do a half and halfer. We're going to talk about Madison County, but we will also have to cover the committee hearing. So the redistricting situation down at the State House is now moved to the Elections Committee. And if you are interested in appearing down at the State House during the committee and you're interested in speaking, you can sign up to speak starting at midnight tonight. So that's when you will be able to do that. You'll also, I would assume, be able to sign up throughout the day. Now, they are saying, this is just so people know, that the committee hearing tomorrow is going to run from 9 a.m. until 2:45. So it's a pretty long meeting. I would hope that they are going to leave a large portion of that meeting for the various people that would be willing to speak. So if you want to speak, you can sign up. They have stated as a housekeeping note that depending on how many people do sign up, that the committee chair will possibly limit time or limit how many people that they will hear from. because they, I would assume, are expecting a lot of people to show up and want to voice their thoughts and their concerns. So that's kind of where we're at, what we're doing, and we're going to go ahead and get into it. First up, the Delaware County Commissioners held their meeting today, and I will be honest, I have not had a chance to watch any of it. I plan on I've got it pulled up to watch as soon as the show's off. I'm going to watch. Now I have some homework. This evening when the show's off, I'm going to watch the commissioners meeting from today in Delaware County, and then I'm also going to watch the Winchester City Council meeting in full to see what all went on there. But I have not heard anything crazy from anybody about the commissioners meeting today. If anybody was in attendance, or if anyone watched the meeting and there's something that struck you as interesting, worrisome, good, bad, whatever, please let me know. You can contact me. You can message me, Facebook me, text me, email me, whatever. You can comment in the comment section here and let us know what your concern were. Would be all three commissioners showed up: Stephen Brand, Henry, Shannon Henry, and Reagan, Sherry Reagan. All three of the commissioners showed up. They were there, and they did the thing. The meeting lasted, let's see here. The meeting lasted about an hour and 43 minutes. So it was a pretty long meeting. The commissioners generally hold long meetings in Delaware County. You're generally looking at about an hour and a half long meeting. So I will take a look at that meeting tonight and see what is important and go from there. If there's anything major, we will get back to you on that. So that's that. Their next meeting that they will have, I would assume, I'll have to listen just to be sure, but I believe the next meeting that they will hold will be on Monday the 15th. So that shouldn't get into any of the holiday stuff, and they'll be able to do their second meeting. So that should be Monday the 15th. So if there's anything big in there, we will come back and cover that in the next couple of days. But I think other than that, everything kind of went what it was. Okay. Moving on to the biggie, and let's see how I'm going to approach this. So the next meeting, so Delaware County was at 9 a.m. and then at 10 a.m. there was a Madison County commissioners meeting, and so we kind of have we'll set the stage here. So, for example, the Muncie City Council meetings are always on the first Monday. I've been talking about Winchester meetings are on the first and third Mondays. Delaware County Commissioners meetings are on the first and third Mondays. Madison County's meetings are always on Tuesdays. Their commissioners meetings are always on the first and third Tuesday of the month. However, for some reason, and I don't know why, I don't know if they've stated this in a meeting, I'll have to go back and listen, but the Madison County commissioners have adjusted their last meeting, which the last meeting they had would have been held on Monday the 17th of November. It should have been held on Tuesday the 18th, but for whatever reason they moved it. They jumped it forward. They did it earlier than what they normally would have, and they would have had to have made that decision at the first meeting in November. So for whatever reason, they decided to do their second meeting in November on Monday the 17th instead of Tuesday the 18th. Well, this meeting that was held in Madison County today was held on Monday the 1st. It should have been held on Tuesday the 2nd. And their next meeting should be held on Tuesday the 16th. Yes, the collective Tuesday the 16th should be their next meeting. That's what they stated today in the meeting. But it was a regular meeting. There wasn't anything of interest in the majority of the agenda. We looked at the agenda. We've looked at the agenda a couple times now. However, at the very end of the agenda, there was a presentation that the people in the in voters registration, the election board, was going to present to the commissioners and to the public at large. And that was this situation where they're looking at redrawing the precinct boundaries in Madison County. And this is something that the people of Madison County have been talking about for a while. It started last week. People started wondering what was going on. Very few people had heard anything about this. And if you watched our show, Catherine was on. We had Catherine in as the contributing correspondent back on the 25th, Tuesday the 25th, before we went into holiday mode. We talked about how they had not posted notice of the meeting until approximately 3 or 3:15 on Tuesday the 25th. Now, I want to be clear. I want to be clear here. There are laws that govern how meetings are supposed to work, what can and can't happen in meetings, what the public's rights are, what the elected officials' jobs are, and then how those meetings are to be handled, how they're to be ran, how they're to be noticed. And so, for example, in the state of Indiana, they did not need to give public notice. I talked to the public access counselor today. I talked to everybody. So this is what we're talking about here. So the last two episodes that I've come to you, we've talked to you about my belief that they did not conduct themselves above board legally by not giving proper notice of the meeting. Now, I reached out last week to all kinds of elected officials in Madison County. So problem number one. I had a question last week, and I reached out to elected and appointed government officials. And had any of those dumbasses did their job, met the public where they are, and had any of them responded to me last week, the claims that were made on last Tuesday night's show and the claims that were made last night wouldn't have been made. But problem number one is they received text messages, they received emails, they received communication, but yet they decided, for whatever reason, to ignore it. So, going the way that Madison County generally does things, the way they notice their meetings is 48 hours or more before a meeting. They're hang a meeting in their location. Now, we know they play fast and loose with that, and sometimes they do and sometimes they don't, but that's the way they at least act like they attempt to do it. Okay, the same way that Delaware County does it, the same way Randolph County does it. They post the meeting notice out there, and they do all of that. The public access counselor, the public access laws, the public access handbook, all is very clear. Governing bodies don't have to use an agenda. They don't have to post an agenda. If they use an agenda, however, they need to use an agenda. And they can't and they shouldn't waffle back and forth on, well, we're going to use it this month, we're not going to use it this month. If they use it, they need to use it. And if they don't, they don't. But that's what should go on. However, they need to stay in their lane with whatever they're doing. And generally, they produce an agenda. So when we were in the building last Tuesday, which was their last day there, and there was no notice posted until 3 o'clock, 3:15, the common, normal, everyday citizen, journalist, commentator, asshole, whatever, anybody that's just normal walking through the halls of the Madison County Government Center would say, oh, look, they just posted this here at 3:15. So the 48-hour rule would make that 3:15 Monday the 1st, 3:15 Tuesday the 2nd. They could have a meeting anytime after 3:15 on Tuesday the 2nd. Now, a lot of people are like, wait a minute, why? Why? Well, it's because they didn't work Wednesday, they didn't work Thursday, they didn't work Friday, they didn't work Saturday, and they didn't work Sunday. But I didn't just take it and run with it. I had a question, and I reached out to people in Madison County government last Tuesday, and everybody wanted to play coy. People didn't want to answer. People didn't respond. I had people asking me who it was. It's like they needed to know my name before they could give me an answer. And so nobody gave me an answer. So I just assumed, okay, it is what it is. They've not done this properly. So we'll go forward with the information. And Catherine and I did that Tuesday. And last night, when we came back after the break, I talked about it again. And then last night after the show, as I was getting things ready for today, and I was making posts, I made the following post on my social media. And I made this post. The Madison County Commissioners are scheduled to hold an illegal, and I put illegal in parentheses, illegal meeting at 10 a.m. later today, Monday, December 1st, 2025. The meeting would be illegal because it was not noticed appropriately, and I put that in parentheses. The county posted notice of the meeting no earlier than 3 p.m. on Tuesday, November 25th, 2025. The county building then closed an hour later at 4 p.m. that same day. The county building was then closed for the next 5 consecutive days: Wednesday, November 26th, Thursday, November 27th, Friday, November 28th, Saturday, November 29th, and Sunday, November 30th. The building was closed in part due to the Thanksgiving 2025 holiday and then the following weekend. The county building will open later today. I wrote this last night, or early this morning. Later today, Monday, December 1st, 2025 at 8 a.m. And the meeting is then set for 10 a.m., which means the meeting will have been posted for 3 business hours, which is 45 hours short of what the law requires. Proper notice is 48 hours. So it is up in the air if the commissioners will hold this meeting or not. Time will tell if they will do the right thing or not. The agenda for the Madison County Commissioners meeting is scheduled for 10 a.m. Monday, and it is available below. And I shared the agenda. Will the commissioners, John Richwine, Olivia Pratt, and Rick Gardner, do the right thing? Time will tell. And then this morning at 7 o'clock, I took one more stab at trying to get some answers, and I sent a text message to Olivia Pratt. And this is the text message that I sent Olivia this morning at about 7:15 or so. I said, okay, let me find it here. Just wanting to verify, is there a commissioner meeting this morning at 10 a.m.? Now, I know what you posted. I am still not in agreement with you. You're still not in agreement with me on what? You got to listen to everything I'm saying before you say that you're not in agreement with me. That's ignorant. You're not listening to everything I'm saying, so you don't know what I'm saying. you can't listen to half of what's being said and be like, I'm not in agreement with that. So relax just for a second. It's not a debate. I'm not going to debate you on shit that's right. There's no. I'm not going to do that. That's stupid. If you listen to what I say, and we can talk about it tomorrow, but listen, what they're still wrong. They're just not wrong in the same way we initially thought it, which in my opinion makes them wrong, because if they would have told us that last week, we could have talked about that. So we're jumping ahead. We got to let everybody else, because nobody else knows what we're talking about. So hold on. So I text Olivia and said, just wanting to verify, is there a commissioners meeting this morning at 10 a.m.? And at 8:41, Olivia said yes, as was publicly voted on in our November 17th meeting and noticed the same day. Okay. She then sends me an email between her and the attorney saying, attached is a notice of change of meeting date for November 2nd, now November 1st. Rhonda, would you please post a copy of this notice? I will forward it to the newspapers. Okay. And then she also sent me a copy of the minutes. And in the minutes, it says, President Richwine indicates there is before the commissioners a proposal to change the commissioners' regular meeting currently scheduled to occur on December 2nd to December 1st. Okay, so here's the deal. That is a proper notification. It doesn't matter if Catherine doesn't like it or not. The problem is people are looking at the agenda item of the presentation of the reprecincting as being something big, as it being a public hearing or whatever. It's not. It's just an agenda item. And as we know, number one, they can have a very skeleton agenda, and items can be added. So this is just an agenda item. It's not special. It doesn't require a public notice. They didn't have to have people be there. They didn't have to allow, I don't like this, but they didn't have to allow public comment. What I'm saying is this was just a regular agenda item like any other agenda item. So the fact that we're talking about reprecincting isn't the issue. The issue is, was the meeting legally noticed or was it not legally noticed? And the bottom line is, if they made mention of today's meeting in an open public meeting that was live streamed, then boom, bang, pow, it is a public notice, and the meeting today was 100% legal and legitimate. They made mention of it in a public meeting at their last public meeting. It doesn't matter that their last public meeting was a different date. While they were sitting in a public meeting, they made mention of it. Therefore, today's meeting was valid. Period. Doesn't matter what's on the agenda. The fact that they mentioned today's meeting made it legal. So I will apologize for saying that it was illegal. I was wrong. We were wrong. I was wrong last night. We were wrong on Tuesday. However, no, it's in the minutes. I've got a copy of the minutes in front of me. You don't have to apologize. That's why this isn't your show. I'm apologizing for things that I say on my show. You don't have to apologize for your thing. You don't have to apologize for being wrong. We were wrong. It's not a big deal. I don't say things that are wrong and then just say, okay, well, that's all. That's it. It's a legal meeting. It was a good meeting. Here's the deal. You're mixing in two different things. We'll get to the people here in a minute. The people being at the show here in a minute. I'm not talking about that. The question at hand was today's meeting legal? Today's meeting 100% was legal. Period. The public access counselor has agreed that it was legal. These minutes, what we have here is a legal meeting. Now, here's what I say, and this is what I said to Olivia, because just because it's legal, just because it's good, just barely good enough, doesn't mean it's good enough. That's a problem. That's a problem. Okay. So let's go back here and talk about this. Okay. So I then sent a message to Olivia saying, this is just good enough government, because the majority of your public wasn't sitting in the meeting on November 17th. The majority of your public doesn't have a copy of the minutes at home. The issue here is, if they did this right, which they did back on November 17th, why didn't they post the agenda on November 17th and leave it there? Leave it there on the 17th, leave it there on the 18th, leave it there on the 19th, leave it there on the 20th, leave it there on the 21st, let it hang there over the weekend, let it be there on the 24th, and let it be there on the 25th. Why did they wait until 3 p.m. on the 25th to post the notice? So they are playing fast and loose, and they are slimy. They are gross. It is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. 100% wrong what they're doing. The people of Madison County have to start saying, just good enough government is not good enough for us. Just good enough government isn't good enough for us. If you are in Madison County and you're tired of the bullcrap and the games, you have to let these people know, we're not okay with the floor. We want the ceiling. Okay? So that's the issue here. And Tim Linnane, Terry Austin, Smith, Linda Smith, John Richwine, Olivia Pratt, Rick Gardner, they've all got my number. I've talked to these people for years. They could have reached out. I reached out to them, and I got no answer last week. I finally got an answer an hour before, an hour and a half, 2 hours before the meeting. And it's because they wanted to rub it in. And they wanted to say, ooh, look, you guys were wrong. You guys were wrong. That's why it's important to say, okay, you know what? We were wrong. But we were wrong because you guys are engaging in government that is just good enough. It's the bare minimum. That's a good question. How many people? And I don't know. Let me go see if I can see. I don't know that it shows us. Let me see. I don't think it does. They need to go to YouTube. Okay. Let's go back here to okay, live stream meetings. Yes, right. That's the thing. It's not even at we were wrong. It's not a big deal. It's okay. It's okay to say, hey, we made a mistake. That's what gives credibility. We made a mistake based off their piss poor government. That's the thing. That's the problem. So, yeah, right here. Let's see. Let me see if we can tell when this was added. Let's see. Details. Because if you go to the public notice, when you go to the public notice, there is on 11/17/25 notice of change of commissioners meeting. I don't know when that was there, when that was not there, but it's on. I can share this to you. Here's this. Okay. So here it is, 11/17/25. I don't know when that was added. Maybe they added it today. I don't know. I don't care about that. That's not the big thing I'm talking about. The main thing I'm talking about are the minutes. Give me a second here. Let me go back. Okay. Okay. Where I'm at the okay, here we go. Past meetings. Here we go. Here we go. Let's jump forward. Here's the meeting from November 17th.
And congratulated for being honored with the 2025 Indiana 911 Director of the Year Award at the Indiana 911 Professionals Conference.
What's up, Kate?
So, question. Is today's meeting up yet?
Yes.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So they do post them in fairly rapid order.
It should have been there. Now, somebody, Rebecca told me while we were sitting there, Rebecca and I were sitting in the front row. And Rebecca told me that somebody commented the link was down while we were in the meeting. But they should be live streaming the meetings. But they've had a lot of issues over the last several months.
Okay.
So
I was curious as to how many people watched it, because that's how many people are getting notified that way.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely.
How many people take the paper anymore?
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's complete laziness to not vote on that and then go to the clerk and go, post that. We just voted, post it.
Yeah. And I guarantee you the way that they're doing this, the way that they're live streaming this or recording this and putting it on their website is a major pain in the ass. Whereas if they just simply used YouTube, it would be so much easier, but then they would have less problems and they couldn't blame it on bullshit issues. So that's the reason they do this.
That whole section about the budget that didn't stream. Oh yeah. That was technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties.
Sorry about that. Like Muncie likes to do that too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. That was my question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. That's a great question. Absolutely great question. All right, let's see here. We're at the end of the meeting.
Deep appreciation to Jenny Chambers for exemplary leadership, dedication, service to the residents of Madison County, which have culminated in this well-deserved statewide recognition. A copy of this resolution shall be presented to Jenny Chambers as a token of gratitude, pride from the Madison County Board of Commissioners.
Here we go.
Aye.
Meeting schedule for next year.
Oh no, that's the meeting scheduled for next year.
A copy of this resolution shall be
first Tuesday. I do know all the one from 11/7. Both state that the only thing that was discussed at each of those meetings were the advertised agenda. Make a motion that we adopt those. Second, any other discussion? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
your December meeting.
Yeah. Okay. What day do we want to? Monday. The next commissioners meeting is scheduled for December the 2nd. That's during the county commissioners conference. I make a motion that we change that to December the 1st at 10 a.m. in this room. Any other discussion? Those in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Okay, so there it is. I mean, hey, look, I don't have a problem being wrong. Here's the thing, and I put this back on them. I don't go to this and look because this is a hard system to use and it's very rarely up and it has all kinds of issues. And one would think it would be easier to just simply text somebody and ask a question and get a yes or a no rather than have to go through all of this. So when I reached out to people last week to ask the question, and they purposefully did not reach out to answer, that mistake, that error is on them. I'll take the most of the blame, but they're going to shoulder some of it too because they needed to do their job. They needed to step up and say, oh, yes, here's the answer to your question. Yes. Here's the answer to your question. No. I didn't need months worth of back and forth texting. I didn't need a book. I didn't need a paragraph. I needed a yes or a no. Okay. So that's that. So, okay. They had it good to go. All's well. We were wrong. But I think that all that does is it shows yet again how bad they are with the government. Now, let's jump ahead because that's not even the main issue. We're going to wait until Catherine's on tomorrow because we'll get into the nuts and the bolts of what happened in the meeting. I don't care about really the rest of the majority of the meeting. I care about the main last topic, which was the redrawing of the precincts. And Devin, what's his last name? Strong? I don't know what his last name is. Devin, who's the Democrat in the election room, and Chris Lutz, who's the Republican there. They got up at the county commissioners meeting today, and they spoke, and they both seemed like they had no clue what they were talking about. Devin Scroggins. And the craziest thing in the world happened, and that was that Terry Austin, the former Democrat Party chair, and one of the elders of the party, gets up and it completely makes her Democrat chair look like an idiot. She completely made him look like an idiot. And when Kelly Hewer got up, Kelly Hewer, a Republican, the Republican chair, and Terry Austin were like two peas in a pod. They were saying the same thing. They were singing the same song and dance, and they were lockstep. It was so strange, the game that was played today. So Catherine and I will talk about that tomorrow. You'll want to tune in because there's a lot that went on today, and it's big. We'll go over it. We'll play bits and pieces of it, and we'll dissect all of that and let you hear it. But the commissioners meeting today, normally their commissioners meeting lasts just a few moments. This meeting was an hour and 17 minutes. And I would say 50 minutes was given to the issue at hand. And so I think that's interesting. The other aspect was the commissioners were very nice and polite, and they let everybody speak, and they let people get up 2 and 3 times to speak, and they let people who were mad get up. And Ollie Dixon was getting up and saying this don't make any damn sense, and to hell with this. And I mean, he was getting really heated, rightfully so, and they weren't gaveling him down. They weren't being mean to, they weren't telling him to stop. Rebecca got up. They were nice to her. Several people got up and spoke, and I'll put it to you this way: nobody got up and spoke in favor of this, and everybody wanted it tabled, and they tabled it. It was quite interesting to see. Now, and I'll tell you, I agreed with Terry and I agreed with Kelly today. What Kelly and Terry were doing for the first time in a long time, everybody was on the same page. I'm very interested in knowing like what the powers that be think about this, because this is really being pulled by just a couple individuals. The Democrats are mainly pushing this. The Democrats from Anderson, the city of Anderson, are pushing this. David Ikes from the city administration, he and a few other Democrats are pushing this, wanting this done. Kelly Hewer didn't know anything about what was going on today until the very end, so she was duped. She for the first time feels like what it feels like to be the citizens. There's a lot of weirdness going on around this, and it's really making for some strange bedfellows, and it's going to be interesting. So I can't wait to have Catherine on tomorrow, and we can talk about all of that and look into what's going on here. The bottom line is right now, nothing's happening. This was tabled, continued until December 16th, where it will then be discussed. But I highly look for it to be voted and approved on the 16th, and then the 10-day period will start. So that's what happens. And Ross Gates, yes, I have not covered that yet, but yes, they did. They did approve it. Yes, they did. Absolutely. Yes, Kate or Catherine. I will. Let me write that down. Yes, exactly right. But yes, Ross, they did approve it. So that's what happened with the Madison County Commissioners meeting. Catherine and I will discuss it in further detail tomorrow, and we'll go from there. Okay, from there, I want to talk about the City of Muncie meeting. The City of Muncie council meeting started at 7 p.m. this evening. The meeting was a short meeting. I looked for there to be people from Muncie that are involved with the Prairie Creek situation that would be there, that would be upset, and that would speak during the public concern section. Now, I don't know if the snow and the weather kept people out. I hope that's what happened, because nobody showed up to speak about Prairie Creek. Now, in all fairness, the council's not exactly where you would go to do that. They have very little to do with that, other than they are the fiscal body and they deal with the budgets. But that is always a place where people could show up to speak. Now, the main place that people are going to want to go speak is the Parks Board meeting. We'll have to wait and see when that meeting will be this month. It's normally the third Tuesday of the month, so we'll have to see when that's going to be. I think it'll be the same. So we'll have to see. Okay. The meeting for Muncie was wham bam, thank you, ma'am. It was just almost, there was like next to nothing going on. They went through I thought it was funny, the citizen recognition. It should have been Counselor Brandon Garrett. And Brandon's like, yeah, my people couldn't show up this time, so can we push this off till next month? I guarantee you, I guarantee you, I'm never going to be able to prove this, and he's always going to say I'm lying. But I guarantee you, he just simply forgot that it was his month, and so he didn't get anybody lined up. And so he had to be like, oh, yeah, they couldn't show up, and then he'll work to get someone next month. I guarantee you. Okay? So, very, very interesting. Almost 10 p.m. Time to segue to the other topics. Jackie. Delaware County Advocate, that would track, absolutely. So they got down through ordinances previously introduced. The ordinance 3425, 3525, 3625. These were basic ordinances, some of them. The first 3425 was an ordinance to amend zoning, and that went through pretty simple. An ordinance for additional appropriations for the Muncie Police Department. This was simply the Muncie Police Department using money from one of their line items, moving it over to another line item. It happens a lot. They're not asking for more money. They're not getting money from the general fund. They're using their money in one line item for something in another line item. Okay, no big deal. 3625 is the same thing. That was for the fire department, so no big deal there either way. 3725 was an ordinance fixing the salaries for all elected officials of the city of Muncie. 3825 is an ordinance amending ordinance 1625, fixing maximum salaries for each and every appointed officer, employee, deputy, da-da-da-da-da. And 3925 was an ordinance fixing the maximum salaries for each and every member of the Muncie Fire Department, city of Muncie, da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so these three ordinances is what Ross Gates was talking about. These were approving the salary ordinance, and the salary ordinance can go above what people are paid. And Counselor Nora Powell asked, like, how are we to be sure that when we approve this, that you're not going to go higher than what we budgeted? And Craig's like, yeah, we just won't. We're not going to. We just won't do that. Okay. And it's comical to me because, like Nora said, well, we did this last year, and as soon as we did this, you guys went ahead and you paid everybody more money. just totally crazy that this is. It's kind of like the council gets bit by the snake and is like, wait a minute, why did you bite me? And the snake's like, well, I'm a snake, you idiot. And the council's like, oh, well, will you not bite me again? And the snake's like, no, I won't bite you again. And then the snake bites them again. And the council's like, well, wait a minute, why did you bite me? Well, absolutely, Delaware County Advocate, Wright wasn't honest about it last time. So, of course, he'll be honest this time. Totally ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous what's going on there. Interesting to me that, jumping back, I'm going to kind of jump all over the place here, talking about Muncie. In the committee reports, Kylene Swackhammer and Matthew Nichols got up and talked about the ECIRPD, which is connected to Walters. And look, I don't know what they're wanting to do. I was kind of in and out of that, but I'm very leery of getting the city mixed up with anything in connection with ECIRPD. We don't need that. We have not had that. Maybe I'll have to go back and listen to it. Maybe it's a great idea. And I will apologize for this, but I'm very leery of mixing the city of Muncie up into any nonsense with Walters and all that deal, because that's James King, and that was Bookout was involved with all that until he became a county councilor. So I'm not for that. Whatever, we're gonna have to keep our eye on that. So I want to be very clear about that. Let's see here. Moving on. One of the other questions, going back to the ordinances that Nora asked about, was the assistant Prairie Creek supervisor. She said that position seemed like it was being paid $5,000 more than what everybody else is being paid, and wanted to know who that was, why that is, what's going on there. So that seemed odd. Also a very interesting question, and it's so crazy how much either Craig just flat out lies or he doesn't know. So Nora asked who the superintendent of streets were. Now, I'm going to tell you, since Ridenhour has been mayor, the city of Muncie has not had a superintendent of streets. Well, they have, but they haven't. So in January of 2020, when Ridenhour first took over, Ridenhour had an individual called Brian Stevens Hotop. Brian Stevens Hotop was a city engineer, and his job was to be the city engineer / street superintendent. Sometimes he did this, sometimes he did that. It was a very weird deal, and he was getting paid like $500,000 or $600,000 a year. It was nuts. He left, and then Adam came. And Adam is in the same position. He is the city engineer and he is the street superintendent. Now, when Nora asked Craig Wright who the superintendent of streets was, Craig said Donnie Wright. And I was like, wait a minute. That's not right. Donnie Wright is not the superintendent of streets. He's a step down below that. But Craig's like, that's right. That's right. You know, what would be nice is if the mayor had his ass at these meetings and he had all of his department heads there so they could get to the bottom of this. So they could get to the bottom of all of this. Well, yes and no. It's so the position's supposed to be overlooking, but the problem I have with this is both of these positions were contract positions, and the union documents specifically say that a contract position cannot be in a supervisorial role over full and part-time people within the city of Muncie of government. So that's the situation that we're at, where Adam is now in charge, but he doesn't do any of the discipline. What he does is he tells Donnie Wright, I want this guy spanked this many times and I want to watch. And Donnie does it. Donnie's the heavy. And I don't like any of this. It's very, 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 very strange. Yes, Kate, you're 100% right. I want to go up here and see what Delaware County Advocate said. The communications director position got a 35% raise in July of 2021, 2% in October 2022, 0% in 2023, 11% in December of 2024, another 11% in May of 2025, and 15% tonight. It's near 77% increase since 2021. And keep in mind, we've had like 6 of them. So it's not like we've had one person doing just an amazing, outstanding job, so much so that everybody's like, yes, let's give a 77% raise. We've had like 6 of these people. He used to change communications directors like Adam took showers and took pictures of himself in the shower, once every at least a couple of months. It's very strange, very strange. So that's a good question, Delaware County Advocate. That's a good question. Let's see here. That takes me on to with that raise, will the comms director now be doing the live streaming? No. So the live streaming will be, I don't know. I live streamed it from the YouTube page. Let me go there and look right now. That's a good question. City of Muncie. Okay. So the meeting is not live streamed on the city's Facebook page. City of Muncie Communications. It is not live streamed on the City of Muncie Communications page. It is live streamed on YouTube, but not on the city's Facebook pages. So that's interesting. Now, I do want to let everybody know that starting in January, Ball State will be doing the live streaming for the City of Muncie. So that will then be taken back away from the comms director, and Ball State will be doing it. and we'll be paying Ball State. You know what I mean? That'll be interesting. So we'll see what happens there. That then takes me to the public comment period. And I was so happy. Interesting question there, Delaware County Advocate. Interesting question. If that's, it would make one wonder. Why, if someone else is going to be doing this, why? So that's definitely an interesting question. Okay. I want to take you back here now and show you this, because this is something that I was very interested in. Okay, this is the end. This is towards the end of the meeting.
Yes. Ellen Whitehead.
And Ellen Whitehead stands up and speaks.
Hi, my name is Ellen Whitehead. I'm a Muncie resident, and I do want to start by saying that my views do not represent those of my employer. The council may remember that I spoke at last month's meeting to express my disappointment in how the council voted on Ordinance 4025, which would have ensured
That was the protection for the council that failed down party line.
that the signature affixed to an ordinance or resolution is used with the full knowledge and consent of the sponsoring council member. I continue to be disappointed, but perhaps even more so confused by the council's rejection of this proposal. Ensuring that we do things with integrity and transparency should not be a partisan issue. Given Muncie's long history of concerns regarding public trust towards the city government, I would imagine the current council wants to establish themselves as on the right side of this issue. To me, this was a straightforward and common sense vote, and I fail to see a good reason why the council voted no. Why would we not want to establish and uphold clear standards for how our city government is run, especially given recent evidence that such standards are needed? Why would we not want to do whatever we can to promote public trust in the council and our city government? As the council can see, I feel strongly enough about this topic that I am returning to this issue. I respectfully ask that the council revisit the proposal outlined in Ordinance 4025. I am asking that the ordinance be reintroduced for the January meeting and that the council vote in favor of this common sense proposal. Thank you.
Thank you.
I love it. I love it. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. There's a second speaker that gets up, a man that gets up, and he parrots basically everything that she says. There's people that's starting to come out and see this.
So I urge you to reconsider Ordinance 40-25. Thank you.
He wants it reconsidered. Okay. Now I want people to listen to this. And if Admiral Eric is still here, I want you to rule in on
I think it's
this.
Presley. Okay. Jeanette.
Yeah. Okay. That's big time.
Sorry about that. It's just.
If Admiral Eric's still here, I want you to rule on, or I want you to hear your opinion.
From before. So I have a service dog. You guys all know that. His name is Bernard.
She has a service dog. It is a St. Bernard service dog.
And I have had some issues with some new businesses in town with Bernard. So he is not a support dog. He's not a pet. He's a medical alert service dog for seizures. He came out of a medical alert program out of Greenwood, Indiana called Medical Mutts. So he's licensed, he has a license. We have a new business in our neighborhood at the end of Batavia and 8th Street. It's a convenience store. And I've been conveniently kicked out of there with my service dog, and the police called on me, and I waited on them to come. He's licensed. He can come in there. He can go wherever I go. Therefore, we had an incident. The gentleman called the police on me. He refused to give me what I needed from the store, and I waited on the police. Of course, the police tried to explain to him he doesn't speak well in English, and so there was some issues. So that is one issue I've had. The other issue I had is Walmart. I went to Walmart to shop for groceries for Thanksgiving, and I was approached 3 different times, and all 3 times, he's too big, he's this, he's that. I'm sorry, he's a service dog. He's trained. He's medically trained, and he takes care of me. Yes, he's big because I'm big. And so, you know, if I fall, he breaks that fall. A little dog, I would smash to pieces. You know, I've had Bernard 5 years, and before I had another service dog, and he was a
I don't think she's a trainer. I think she actually has the dog because she has the seizures.
He's saying that the trainers provide a card.
Oh.
So that's the license she's talking about, is they provided her a card to state that this is a trained service animal. But there is no such thing as a recognized license.
Moreover, I didn't think
animals.
that you could ask.
You can't.
Or you can ask, but
What you are allowed to ask is, what service is the animal trained to provide?
Okay.
That's what you're allowed to ask.
Okay. Yeah, and that's what exactly what she's saying. And that's what she says. She's like, look, people, the reason they're bitching is because it's a big dog. I mean, a Saint Bernard's a big dog. Look, she's had the dog in here, and it's not like going nuts. It lies down at her feet and behind the podium, and of course you can see him because he's a Beethoven. You know, so it's a Saint Bernard dog. It's a massive dog. She's like, look, I have to have a big dog because the job of the dog is to catch me, and I'm not little. If it was a little dog, I would kill it. So yeah, it's a big dog.
St. Bernard also. So therefore,
I like
we need to
Freckles.
do something and
Is
get
Freckles no longer with us?
I haven't seen Freckles in a while.
Okay.
That's all.
these people on board that are working out in our public, because I know people take dogs in everywhere that are not service dogs, but Bernard has a thing.
Well, I guarantee you this. There is no chance in hell that her dog, Bernard is his name. No, what is it? No, it's a Saint Bernard.
The
dog's
dog
name?
is named Bernard too.
Okay, I thought it was.
Yes.
I thought it was. He is a very good dog. He is very, very well behaved. Very well behaved. He's not. Yeah.
Air attack when I have him with me.
You are correct. Store owners ultimately have a final say in who they do business with.
However,
But
that would be against the Americans with Disabilities Act.
I feel like that would be a major, dude. You want to
Civil
talk
rights
about
violation.
a major civil rights violation? Because it's the same thing as saying, I don't want to do business with you because you're blind, or I'm not going to do business with you because you're black. You could say it. You could say those. You could say those things if you're brave.
It is a crime
But yeah,
to not let them in.
yeah.
But it's also a civil matter as well. So it can be handled on 2 different fronts. This
Now-
kind of stuff pisses me off.
Now here, I gotta say, if I was in a situation where I had a service animal and somebody didn't want the service animal in there, I'm not going to push myself on that person. You know what I mean? If I'm doing something that I'm legally allowed to be doing and someone's violating my right, I would fight that. But if I know going in someplace, this person doesn't like dogs, this person doesn't like me because I've got a dog. All right, whatever. You know what I mean? Like it is whatever. You know what I mean? It would be,
But
you know.
this is not a dog in that case, Christopher. Okay, this is
Yeah. No,
a medical necessity.
Mhm.
This is like my crutches.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Why
not
why
let
do you
me
have
in
crutches?
here? Well, I don't know. I was coming up
Oh,
with something off the top of my head.
Okay.
It's like they're like crutches. If
Yeah.
I'm trying to go in the store and I've got crutches or I have a
Yeah.
wheelchair and you're telling me I cannot come in because of the wheelchair, I have to leave it outside,
Yeah.
that would be a problem.
You must drag yourself across the floor.
Yeah, you have to drag yourself across the floor. I mean, that's what they're asking these people to do who have service animals, who are providing this kind of service. They are a medical device.
Yeah.
Leave your artificial heart at the door. Sorry.
Yes.
Well, I think he may have beaten me to saying that.
Yeah. A durable medical device.
It's a serious problem. It's not asking you to leave a dog at the door. It's asking you to leave your wheelchair,
Yeah.
your lifeline at the door in some cases.
Yeah. Huh.
I would like to be left alone. I would like to be able to go in and do my business.
Service
and
sheep.
Stuff. So the human rights, I've called them here. I've called the American with Disabilities Act. I reported it all.
So
But
she says that,
last time
and
we
basically
wrote
they're going to
the
send
letter
out some
out,
letters or
and
something
it
like
was
that, which,
resolved.
you know, okay, good with that.
I,
Sarah Vitale gets up and
reviews and express the views of the
again
taxpayer.
speaks and says that
And I
she
want
wants them to.
thank, my friends and neighbors, Ellen and Alex, for the comments that they made.
She thanks the
earlier
people for
about
speaking.
Out for parking on the south side of the street.
Okay, this lady, we'll talk about that more next month. We don't have to focus on that
Okay.
now because she'll be back next month.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so then that basically wraps up. That's the Muncie City Council meeting. There was not a whole lot going on there. It was in and out, and the raises were the big thing. And you know, it is what it is. The Muncie City Council, man, it's a joke. Tonight's the last meeting of Dan Gibson. He will not be back as city council attorney. Not because of like his doing, but because there's a 5-person Republican council now, and they're going to mark my words. The council attorney will be from Dennis Winger and April. And Carnes, the man named Carnes, will be the primary attorney. And it'll just be, I cannot. Next year is going to be interesting for the city council. That's all I got to say. So the vote on the raise, Kate, was, stand by here, I'll tell you. So there were essentially 3. It was ordinance 37, 38, and 39. 37 and 39 were 9-0. And 38-25 was 8-1, and I believe that it was Harold Mason that voted no. He was the odd man out. So 8-1. So 37 and 39 were 9-0. 37 was an ordinance fixing the salaries for all elected officials, and 39 was an ordinance fixing the maximum salary of each and every member of the Muncie Fire Department, the city of Muncie. 38 was an ordinance amending Ordinance 1625, fixing the maximum salaries of each and every appointed officer employee, deputy assistant, departmental, and institutional head of the city of Muncie, Indiana, included herein for the year 2026. And that was when the vote was 8-1. So that's how that went down. Stubblefoot. Okay, so now that takes us, ladies and gentlemen, to the just I don't even know what to call it, to the shit show that is the current Indiana state government. Just every legitimate part of state government is just such a shit show, man. I honestly don't know what to tell people. It's so crazy. So I live streamed. I didn't live stream. I recorded. Today was a bunch of nothing. So I want to say this for the record. Tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., I will be live streaming the committee hearing. I will live stream from 9 until 2:45. If I'll do as much as it lets me to do. And if it cuts me, I will quickly fix it and we'll come back. I should be able to get it all in. 10, 11, 12, 1. Yeah, I should be able to do that. We've done like 5 or 6 hours before. So that shouldn't be a problem. So I will do that. You can catch that right here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Here, I'm just going to show you some bits and pieces of this.
To the point of
So this started at 2. Here's how this kicked off. It started at 2 p.m. Immediately, Phil Giaquinta called for point of order. They went to recess. They shut down. They went to recess. They came back from recess, and let's see if I think I've got it here. Let's hear what the speaker says.
order. After consideration, the point was not well taken.
His point of order was not well taken.
There's been appealing of the ruling of the chair.
So then he appealed it.
Please put it down in writing.
Put it down in writing. He does that. And then we go into recess. We go to recess.
Gavel.
So we go into recess. No, it's not. I've live streamed for like 6 hours before. Dude, you act like this is my first rodeo. I've been doing this for 10 years. So we were in recess for a while. They come back and then
members of the House.
Okay. Oh, we got a Muncie mic here. We got a Muncie mic on the loose.
Mic on. There we
mic
go.
on. Mic on.
After the election 2024, when we come in to vote on our rule book, the yellow rule book that we all have, those are the rules that are govern us as a body. And it's something that I think we should do every day that we are here. And
so he wants to go by the rules.
We should follow those rules.
He says they're not following the rules.
It was not consulted.
Matt Pierce says,
Not
"Hey,
asked whether or not
we weren't asked. We weren't asked whether we wanted to be here or not." I will say, very interesting. We'll wait. We'll get to Ed Delaney. I want to play some Ed Delaney. Let's listen to this. Ed Delaney. I wish this dude was a Republican. I wish I wish Ed was a Republican. I like his
moment.
He's got some spunk.
In this age.
Let's watch this guy for a while.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. For the moment, in this age of overwhelming piety, I would invite the members of the majority to open the statute book and open the rule book and look at what we're talking about. I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to read it. And if you don't read it, I want you to explain to your constituents why you voted to hold a rump session without even looking at the rules. Because you'll be hearing about these rules in this statute for the rest of your career in the legislature. I'm one of the people who went to Illinois on what I thought was a good mission, and I'm still suffering. You will be suffering if you violate these rules, and you deserve it. So open your books up, look at them. And if you're not up to that, let me read them to you.
Let me read it to you.
We passed a rule saying,
I like this
that
guy.
if you're going to change the convening date, and we are, because we voted that we would convene on January 5th, if you're going to change that, the House must get the agreement of the Speaker and the Minority Leader. What's the name of that? Who cares about the minority? We don't care about the minority in Congress. We're going to take 7 seats, make it 9 seats stolen. But what about the House minority? I'm a member of the House minority. Why was this rule put in the book? It's so you can't run roughshod from the Speaker's chair over one of the parties. And if you're ever so unlucky as to not be in a supermajority, you're going to get run roughshod over, and you're setting a precedent. The hell with the rule is what you're saying. Why did we pass a rule giving the minority any right? I've been here since 2008 when I was in a slim majority. I've seen every opportunity, every right, every prerogative torn down under the current speakership, frankly. As an example, the notice, quote, notice of this meeting said that the Republicans will convene today. Can I go look at it?
Listen to this.
I didn't get anything in the mail from the Speaker. I got no electronic notice. I got a notice via a press notice from the Speaker saying the Republicans will convene. Well, I ain't a Republican, and you know that. I was not invited here today, nor was the crowd out there invited here today. Everything is being done in secret inside baseball. Read that rule. I'll read it to you again.
Look at this dude. I love him.
Convening day and time of the House may be changed after the House has adjourned, which we had done, with the agreement of the Speaker and Minority Leader.
And for the record, this is their equipment going south, not us. Everything you can see the crawler there is crawling. It's their weirdness. So they apologize, I guess. Because our crawler's still working.
And it's going to go up on appeal as sure as I'm standing here. And if it's adopted by a body that is not legally constituted, it's going to get what it deserves. Maybe that's why in that bill, it deprives the courts of jurisdiction to elect.
This dude, I love him.
This is not what any one of us came here for. Can you all agree with me that you ain't happy here today? Are you all real happy to be here? Are you really excited about this wonderful thing you're going to do? Wow, you're going to fix the utility rates. You're going to take care of preschool. You're going to take care of pie and motherhood. This is a really great idea. There's no smile on any of your faces. There's no smile on the Democrat faces.
Hey,
the only smiles
hey, Stumblefoot. Listen, yeah, that's probably true. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Gen X taking over. I still want this guy. I want this guy on our side. Like I'm okay. Like let him be a Democrat. Yeah, this dude, I like him.
The faces of people who don't respect.
This is the guy that was shitting all over Diego last year.
The system. If you don't respect the system, this may turn into a glory day for you. But if you do respect the system, this is an attack on the system at its core. Okay, you're roughhousing on the minority. Okay. You're going to get a lot of ethical complaints. Who are these maps designed to suit? Who's looking at running for Congress?
Okay, and that's where we're gonna pause that for a second, and we're gonna take a look at this map. I'm sure you guys have seen these maps. I've posted them. I've had them posted all over. Everybody else has had them posted. this is totally wild shit here we're looking at. These maps are insane. The map that was put out, map. I want to say this. This is very important. Okay. I've been getting a lot of questions about this. And I want to be very clear that people are aware. I'm not sure that people know this or not, or they've heard this or they haven't heard this. I don't know. This redistricting has nothing to do with the state representatives. It has nothing to do with state senators. It only has to do with the congressional map for Washington, D.C. So it's Indiana has 9 congressional districts. So everybody remember back to your civics classes. The state of Indiana has 2 senators that work for the entire state of Indiana. And we have 9 congressmen, congresswomen, 9 districts. And those current, the current map, which was made in 2021, and it's supposed to go in for a 10-year period, it looks like this. Okay, this is the map. Okay, this is the current Indiana congressional map designed in 2021. So you see up here, this blue, this is District 1. This tan or peach is District 2. The green is District 3. This light green is District 4. This purplish color, light purple, is District 5. That's what Delaware County's in. Okay. District 6 is this yellow, which is basically all of these counties. And then the very bottom row of townships in Marion County. Then the main portion of Indianapolis, the majority of Marion County and Indianapolis is in District 7. District 8 is the blue down here. And District 9 is this pink purple color. Okay. This is what we've got going on here. Okay. For everybody that's in East Central Indiana that's watching, here's Delaware County. All of Delaware County is in District 5. Randolph County is broken up. Half of it is in District 6. Half of it is in District 3. Henry County's all in District 6. Madison County's all in District 5. Blackford County's all in District 3. Jay County's all in District 3. Okay, Grant County's all in District 5. This is what we've got going on. The maybe a more pastel version. The proposed map that they're wanting to do, ladies and gentlemen, looks like this monstrosity. Okay, now I'm gonna put it on here. I'm gonna put it on here to where you can compare and contrast. Okay, so look at the blue. That's District 1 now. Okay, look at where District 1 is in this proposed map. Okay, it's all of Lake County, half of Porter, and then it just starts chopping places. All of Pulaski, it reaches down in here. Okay, District 2, it's kind of funky. Now, look at this. This is where it's really, really interesting. District 3 includes the most northern counties in the northeastern portion of Indiana. So LaGrange, which borders Michigan, Steuben borders Michigan, DeKalb borders Ohio, way up there, okay, up past Fort Wayne. And it also reaches all the way down into Delaware County and into the majority of the heart of Muncie. The majority of Muncie is in a district with counties that touch fucking Michigan. But then the majority of Delaware County, ladies and gentlemen, is in a district with counties that touch Kentucky. So Delaware County is divided into 2 congressional districts that run the entire length of the state. It's asinine. So the purpose of redistricting, BJ, Josephus, the purpose of this is to pick up, and don't let them fool you. They're not going to pick up however crazy they're doing down here. Look at what they're doing to Marion County. They've divided Marion County into 4 districts because they're trying to figure out a way to beat Andre Carson. He's the current congressman from District 7 over here in this purple-pink area. Okay? So they're dividing this up so Andre Carson can't be Andre Carson. Can't be the congressman. But I say whatever they do here, we're only going to pick up 1. So we're literally doing this for 1 seat. And literally to hear people say, if you don't agree with this redistricting, you don't like liberty. You're not, you don't care about the Second Amendment if you don't agree with this redistricting. You are not a First Amendment advocate if you are not in favor of this redistricting. People are saying some of the dumbest shit alive. So there have been a couple of them that have floated around. Everything before today, throw all of that out. This is the map they have officially released. This is the map that they have been working on. This is the map that they are attempting to push through. Now, there may come other maps from this, but everything from this is the official map that the IGA, the Republicans in the House of Representatives released this. I received it in a media packet that they sent out. I got it when we were in the meeting in Madison County. So they must have sent it out like just beforehand. I noticed that I had it, but so this is the official map that they're trying to push. I don't know specifically that it's going to go this way. This may be chopped up more, and I would look for things to change. But I want to let everybody know that this is only the federal congressional districts. This has nothing to do with state representative. This has nothing to do with state senator. This has nothing to do with Alexander, Prescott, Roway, or Arrington. This is not a part of that. Those people will be voting on this, but it's not going to affect their districts. This is only our national congressional districts. So that's number one. Number two, I want to be very clear. We will be able to watch the entirety tomorrow. We will live stream that. You'll be able to see it right here starting at 9 a.m. And Catherine and I will talk about Madison County. We will also talk about this. There wasn't a lot that came out of today's meeting. Basically, people were going back and forth on whether it followed the rules to meet or it didn't follow the rules to meet. They wanted to adjourn. That failed. They wanted to change their meeting dates. That failed. And so they tried killing the bill. That failed. And then they decided to push this into hearing tomorrow at 9 a.m. And then that'll be there. Now, something that a lot of people haven't talked about, and I haven't heard a lot of people discussing, there's also another House bill that will be heard tomorrow. And that is House Bill. So let me read this to you, because I don't know if a lot of people have heard this. So House Bill 1032 is the redistricting bill. It says, allows the General Assembly to amend the congressional districts at a time other than the first regular session of the General Assembly convening immediately following the United States decennial census, specifies requirements that apply to any action challenging the apportionment of congressional districts or General Assembly districts, establishes new Indiana congressional districts, provides for expiration of the current congressional districts on the date of the 2026 general election, specifies that for the purpose of the 2026 primary and general election, a precinct may cross the boundaries of a congressional district, requires the election division to assist each county voter registration office with the implementation of this act, makes technical and necessary changes in related statutes. So that's what this says. Okay? That's what this is. No, this is not about farmland. This is simply about picking up another congressional. It's right now, Indiana, out of our 92 congressional districts, we have 7 Republicans and 2 Democrats. They want 9 Republicans and 0 Democrats. They want 9-0. To that I say, run better candidates. You don't need to change the districts. Run candidates that can win. Beat them by good candidates campaigning. Period. Okay? So that's House Bill 1032. But there's a second bill that will be discussed tomorrow, and I can't wait to hear it. I look for it to be the first bill discussed, and it is House Bill 1022, and it reads as follows. Selection of candidate for lieutenant governor. Requires a candidate for governor who has been nominated at a primary election or state convention to certify the name of the candidate for lieutenant governor who will run jointly with the candidate for governor at the general election. Requires the candidate for lieutenant governor to file declaration of candidacy no later than noon, July 15th, before the general election, makes conforming changes. So what they're wanting to do here is have the governor pick the candidate and not the delegation. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So the only other thing that I want to show you here, we'll be seeing this tomorrow, but this is important for you guys to be able to see this, is the members of this committee. Okay, so the Elections and Apportionment Committee is made up of the following individuals: Republican Timothy Wesco, Zach Payne, Kendall Culp, Ethan Lawson, Kyle Pierce, J.D. Prescott, Jim Pressel, Ben Smoltz, Tim Yoakum, and then Democrats Carolyn Jackson, Sue Arrington, Matt Pierce, and Cherish Pryor. So we have some real losers and some real losers that make up this grouping. There's only like 3 people worth a damn out of this whole section. 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 members. There's like 3. So we'll see what goes on, and it will be a busy day. I still think that this is a joke. This is such a colossal waste of time, a waste of effort, and it's just gonna. We are making things worse. People don't see that, but we are hastening our doom. That's all I see here, folks. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for us. Did I cut out? Oh, sorry there. We are hastening our doom. That's going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. We will be here tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. live streaming this for you. We'll be live streaming from 9 until 2:45. We will then kill the feed. The House will then meet in chambers. If I feel like there's going to be something big there, we will live stream that. If not, we won't. I'll just keep you posted. And then we will be back here tomorrow night at 9 p.m., and that will be an interesting show because, as you can tell, Catherine's not 100% sure that we were wrong. And I am absolutely beyond all shadow of a doubt positive that we were wrong. Hopefully we won't have to spend any time debating that. I'm assuming we probably will, but we have a lot to talk about tomorrow, and it'll be half and half, 50% Madison County, 50% what goes on at the state, and we will go from there. You guys have a great evening. God bless each and every one of you. Have a wonderful Tuesday. Hope to see some of you throughout the day on the feed tomorrow. Stop in and say hi, say what's up, and we'll go from there, and then we'll see you tomorrow night. Back here for episode 568. All right. Take care. Goodbye.